What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining me on another episode on this channel. In today's episode, let's talk about Terminator Dark Fate and also Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Now, both of these movies are coming out relatively close to each other. Terminator Dark Fate comes out in just over 2 weeks. Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker is coming out in just over 2 months. So the question I pose to you is, which movie do you think is going to be a better movie? Not how well they're going to perform at the box office, because we already know that Star Wars, I believe, is going to make more money. But just because a movie makes more money doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be better. So with that being said, what do you guys think? Let's kind of set up the stage here. Star Wars goes all the way back to 1977. They've had multiple movies. When George Lucas ran the company, pretty much all of these movies were hits. Not all of them were great, but they were hits. Now, Terminator under James Cameron was all-time great as well. Terminator 2 Judgment Day was one of the best movies of all time. And the advantage I think that Terminator has over Star Wars is James Cameron is back. He's back in a producer role and a writing credit, and he's working with Tim Miller on this movie to make it good, hopefully to make it watchable. Can't really say the same thing about Star Wars Episode 9. George Lucas is the creator. He's pretty much been a consultant somewhat, and I know that he did consult with J.J. Abrams on this movie, and that's pretty much the extent of his involvement in the franchise. So one movie has the creator involved more than the other one. So advantage goes to Terminator Dark Fate. Now, the movies that these movies are coming after, even though Terminator Dark Fate isn't connected to Terminator Genisys, Terminator Genisys was the last Terminator movie that came out. It was a monumental failure. Now, box office wise, of course, it didn't make a lot of money, but it still made somewhere around $450 million. But the movie was panned by everyone. Nobody liked that movie. The movie, to me, wasn't very good at all. It's the worst Terminator movie to come out yet. Now, Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker is coming off of The Last Jedi. It connects directly to that movie. And I think that's a fatal flaw for Star Wars. J.J. Abrams is going to have to, whether he likes it or not, connect to that movie to have continuity between the sequel trilogy. That's one of the worst things about this sequel trilogy is there's no continuity. There was no plan, nothing like that. Now, Terminator doesn't have to worry about that because this is supposed to connect directly to Terminator 2 Judgment Day. So I'm going to lean overall to Terminator Dark Fate. Now, we've seen the trailers. The trailers, I would say the first trailer wasn't very good. After that, I kind of like what I've been seeing, even though I think people are going to complain about where's John Connor. They announced that he was coming back and that this movie would continue his story, but where is he? My personal opinion is I think that they're going to kind of go Force Awakens route. You know, everybody was saying, who is Luke? Where's Luke? You find out that Luke is only in the movie for about 30 seconds and that's it. I think you're going to see John Connor in this movie for about a few minutes. And I think his story will be done because we already know that the new savior of humanity is Danny Ramos. So take your guess on what happens with John Connor. Now, Luke Skywalker, he's going to be in Episode 9 because he's a Force ghost. He was killed off in the middle of a trilogy. That made absolutely no sense to me. So J.J. Abrams is going to have to pull a rabbit out his hat to kind of rectify Luke and make Luke again, because that wasn't Luke in this sequel trilogy. That wasn't Luke in The Last Jedi. Now, no matter what happens with Terminator Dark Fate, I have full confidence that Arnold is going to be Arnold in this movie. He's going to be the T-800 that we know, even though I think we know that he's going to be a little different, because I think he's going to have more of a personality, because if you look at him, he's a lot older. He's been around humans a lot more. So that line in Terminator 2 Judgment Day where he says, the more interactions with humans, the more I learn. So he'll become less robotic. But I think overall, he's still going to be a lethal killing machine, even though he may have a little bit more of a personality in this movie. And I think we will, because we know his name is Carl. I don't know how he got that name, but that's what they're calling him. Even Sarah Connor says, I'm not calling you that. But just to get back on track here, I'm going to go with Terminator Dark Fate. I think the story probably could be better than Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, because I don't really know what story they can really tell with this movie. After watching The Last Jedi, it seems like that was pretty much it. You know, Luke died. It seems like the end of everything. Rey, we already know that she's good at everything, so it doesn't even matter. Kylo Ren, he's ruling the First Order. Everything is in place. So we already know that probably Kylo Ren is going to get redeemed, because that's just what I think is going to happen. I think a lot of people think that he's going to get redeemed. But this movie, Terminator Dark Fate, we know that most likely that Rev 9 Terminator is going to die at the end, but it's probably going to set up a trilogy. At least that's the plan. So we know that this won't be the end of everything. So there won't be any finality to this movie, I believe. So guys, what do you think of this? Do you think it's going to be Terminator Dark Fate or Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, that's going to be a better movie? I'm going with Terminator, but maybe you're going to go with the other movie. So guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me, and we will catch you on the next video. John Matrixx, out.